Hi guys, so this evening I wanted to show you something a little bit different, which is how to take a leaf cutting. So I'm going to be using my jade plant or money plant, also known as the crassula, the botanical name, and I've got a few little pieces here which are different stages along the line of what to do and how. So I'll take you over to my jade plant and show you the next bit. So this is my money plant, or jade plant, whichever you'd like to call it. It's a cutting off one that my great auntie gave me just over 10 years ago. She gave me one which was about this size. Unfortunately it got too big for me to be able to bring inside and protect over one winter, so I tried my best with fleecing it and covering it up, but it just didn't survive. So I'm glad that I've got this one and it's thriving. I potted it up last week. So it's doing really well. I'm keeping it in the greenhouse, frost free, and I'm hoping that I might get some flowers on it this year. So what I'm going to do is come around the side and I'm going to take one of these lower leaves off. On here you can see that where there's scars from where there's been leaves before. So I'm going to take this one here. The easiest thing to do with this is to just, it's not going to do it, there we go, peel it sideways, and this little fleshy wound here, that'll all callus over and it'll leave a scar like one of these, so it'll be completely fine. So I've got the nice leaf. This one's not quite as rigid as the others, so it was getting ready to drop off anyway. They do drop off and they do reroot. And there is some capillary matting, so on one of the other stages that I'll show you in a little while, I'll explain why the capillary matting came into play. So you've got your leaf from your jade plant, and what you want to be doing is to leave it in a nice tray to dry out for a couple of days. That's what I did with these ones. So this is from a variety that had a bit of a smaller leaf. I have got a big leaf in there as well, which came off the jade plant. In here, what I did was to lay some kitchen roll in the bottom first, lay them out on that, leave them on the windowsill and let them dry out. And after a couple of days, once the ends have calloused over, these fleshy ends, you just cover it with a piece of cling film and you need to dampen the tissue up, but I cover it with a piece of cling film so that it keeps the moisture inside, but I leave a little gap so this air doesn't go stale and things don't rot off. And if I get one of these out, so if I take this one here, this one, I get to focus. I always have trouble with this, don't I? On the end here, it's shooting out roots where it's all calloused over, so we've got roots coming out, and then there's actually even some new leaves coming. So I'm going to leave that in there and let them grow until they're a bit bigger. Then in this pot, you look at this one, and this is the one where I said about the capillary matting. So this leaf had actually fallen off the big jade plant and fallen onto the capillary matting, and with that being damp, it encouraged roots to grow out of the end. All these lovely fibrousy roots, and it started to grow these new leaflets. I've got a couple in here that I'd already started, so I'm going to add this one to this pot like that, lay that in there, cover up the roots, and then you want to just give it a little bit of a spritz with water to keep it damp, and it'll help to keep the roots going down into the compost. I'll pop these two into this dish from the stage before as well. So once they're like that and they've started growing on a bit further, you can then pot them up again. So this is what I've done with, again, the smaller leaf variety, which is the same as what I'd taken the ones from in this stage. So these ones have all rooted, and I've popped them into this nice glass dish, and that'll hopefully create a nice little centrepiece. And as I say, this one's a smaller smaller leaf variety, so I've added to my collection. So I'll have a small leafed one and a large leafed one. And I'm hoping that I'll be able to get one of these smaller leaved ones to get to the size of the big one. So yeah, you can do that with aeoniums and sedums. There are quite a lot of other succulents that you can have a go at. Just see what you can do, guys. I hope it's been helpful, and yeah, stay safe.